Hi, guys. Welcome back to It's Just Fucking Therapy. This is episode 5. I don't really have any updates for this episode except that it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I do encourage everyone to take care of themselves, to reach out to me, reach out to a therapist, utilize your resources if need be. We're always prioritizing mental health. I'll also link down some resources below for the Arizona and Chicagoland area if anyone is looking for a therapist or just support groups, because once again, we're always taking care of our mental health. So today, I have a very, very special guest on the episode. My best friend, Wavy, is joining me. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. First, thank you for bringing me on your platform. Super proud of you and the work you've been doing. I'm Wavy SOE on all platforms, all social media platforms. Designer, financial analyst, and a young indigenous man still coping with trauma. So we about to get real tonight.
Yeah. Oh, the social media at handles will be linked, like his information, the businesses, like all that stuff. We're gonna have it linked below. But yeah, we about to jump right into it because he just hit the key word, y'all. Trauma. Would you like to open up and tell the people about some trauma that you've been experiencing?
Do you want recent trauma, or you want like maybe a childhood trauma
Well, just
that's
like,
kind of
well,
still lingering? Which one?
I want to know what trauma looks like for you as
Okay.
a black and indigenous man in his mid-20s.
So it's a plethora of things, but I think the the most significant part of the trauma that I'm dealing with at the moment is living and pushing myself to like be better when sometimes I may not have that motivation or feel like I have that support. Um, Losing friends and losing loved ones, and at a tender age of 24, to lose people back to back to back years since 2020, it's difficult to actually want to get up and go and work, uh, go chase dreams, and actually live life and be happy in it. It's one thing to just be trudging along and pushing along, but to actually be happy with oneself is the key to the journey, and I'm still figuring it out. Um, yeah, so a specific point I would say is that in January, my one of my closest uncles, he passed away. Transition from like liver failure was the main thing. Other things with his immune system, and it affected me in ways I didn't think I would be ready for. So I'm still dealing with it right now. It's fresh. It's only May, and it just happened in January. So if anyone's out there dealing with a loss of a loved one recently, just know like you're not alone, and go talk to somebody.
Yes, talk to the lady, but not me. I make that clear all the time. I'm not the lady. No, I'm just playing. Y'all, I don't want nobody seeing this and be like, damn. No, y'all can talk to me though. But no, for real, like what Wavy said is very important. Make sure that you do reach out to someone. I do like how mental health is prominent now, especially in the black community. It's something that many people are talking about and actually utilizing for themselves, such as therapy. So that's really good to see. And I'm also like just excited to be a part of that community and like utilizing my platform and giving out basically free game and resources in a sense. Like this is therapy, but it's not therapy. And then also back to what you were saying with the grief and death. So like I told the people, they know we're best friends. So we went through a lot of trials and tribulations around the same time, especially with grieving the loss of loved ones. I think that's very, very hard, especially in our environment and where we grew up at, and just coming from Chicago. But
Definitely.
trying to find that balance of self-love too, and figuring yourself out while also grieving loved ones, because one thing I've realized is life doesn't stop. Bills don't stop, life don't stop.
At all. Yeah. To expound on that point, that you have to turn you have to turn that sadness or that thing that's looming over your head, you have to turn that into your why or your reason to actually live. Because like she just said, life doesn't stop, the bills don't stop, or if you have kids, your kids are gonna always need something. If you got siblings that depend on you, your siblings are gonna always need something. Your grandparents, if you're blessed enough to have your grandparents, they still alive, they're gonna need something. So you have to learn how to turn that negative energy into positive, and always like find a end goal or a solution to the problem at hand.
Yeah, I agree. And sometimes that might be hard. It's definitely tough, especially like with people. Even if you lost somebody that wasn't that close to you, grief comes in many different forms. But you always want to turn to people in your corner. And like, I opened up on this platform about 2 or 3 episodes ago about my recent suicide, and I had to let the people know, like, I wasn't utilizing my resources. I wasn't reaching out to people. Like, it got so bad. I was shutting everyone out. And then, thankfully, you and my mother came to the rescue. But it's like, I knew I had you guys. It was just like, I didn't want to deal with this shit. So it was just whatever. But, obviously that's not the way to go about things. And it was a combination of the alcohol, the drugs, the grief, the death, the loss of loved ones, and all that shit. Sometimes it can just spiral and go so far left.
Yeah, definitely. And then like we're so young. So everyone, we lost 2 friends back to back last year at the beginning of the year. Our friend group, her and I specifically, like we dealt with the trauma up until, to be honest with y'all, February of this year, probably a little bit of March. But like it took a whole year to realize that our friends are not coming back, to realize that we can't pick up the phone and call people that we have childhood memories with. So, being that this is Mental Health Awareness Month.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
It's only fitting, that we're completely transparent with you all and tell you, like, no matter how long it takes, you just have to keep trying and go forward. Like, I seen this woman right here make a complete 180, like in a span of 35 days, and she motivates me to get myself out of certain spells that I'm in. So find that end goal or that solution or that reason to work towards something better in your life. And everybody's shit is always worse than yours, and somebody's story is always better than yours.
Yeah. No, you good. And I live by this 5x5 rule. What do I say?
That changed my life.
What is it?
Even with work, if it doesn't matter in 5 years, don't spend 5 minutes thinking about that shit.
5x5, y'all. I promise you, like, that'll get you through so much. At a point in time, I just stopped. Like, I feel like I lost my faith and trust in myself, and I stopped like living by that practice. But I'm slowly adapting it again, and that's also like what comes with the self-love too. It's like you're rebranding yourself, you're relearning yourself. It's always a new journey, everlasting, never ending. But yes, y'all, that 5x5, if it won't matter in 5 years, 5 minutes, don't spend more than 5 seconds on it. Like, I promise you, if you just like alter your mindset kind of and adapt those positive ways of thinking, things will be a little bit better. I ain't saying this shit gonna be perfect. No, it's gonna be a little bit more manageable.
Yeah, it's definitely not an overnight process. And like specifically like for people in our age range, like maybe 21 through 26, 21 through 27, you gotta be a little nicer to yourself. Like, understand that you're not gonna have it all figured out by tomorrow. You're not gonna have a meal in the bank by tomorrow. You're not gonna be out of debt by tomorrow. You're not gonna be completely healthy mentally by tomorrow. You're not gonna be in the best shape you want to be by tomorrow. Like, learn to love the journey. That's what it's all about. We don't know how much time we got here.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you mentioned that too, because like you just said, trying to figure it out. I feel like people our age for sure want to have life figured out by or before 25. I don't know where that started from, who adapted that mentality, and why the world has gotten accustomed to it.
Nah, Fave, you know what it is?
What is it?
Our generation, Gen Zers, we were on the Twitter at an early age.
We were.
We were 14, 15.
12, 13 too, yeah.
All we saw was G-Wagons, mansions, $10,000 in a purse or a clutch. Like, that's all we saw. That's all we consumed. I remember that. I remember this one time when my first sister, Tyler, my pride and joy, she's 15. I remember when she was like maybe 4 or 5, and my parents were living in their old apartment, and I was on the floor like, dang, how am I gonna figure out how to make $100,000? How am I gonna get a G-Wagon? I was 16 years old, worried about getting a G-Wagon and 10 racks.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
That's not shit nowadays. Like, that doesn't do anything for you if you're not mentally put together or emotionally put together. So I think our generation, we took that Twitter shit all the way to the end. We took that
definitely
social
social media was a big influence.
Yeah,
I agree.
for sure.
And you know, like I tell a lot of people in my life too, and not even in my life, like just outside factors that watch what I do. They're like, oh my gosh, you know, like masters at 23 or all of this stuff at 23. And I'm like, y'all don't understand what I went through to get this stuff. Like, I sacrificed my mental health to get to this point. Like, I rushed through college. I didn't take gap years. I didn't take breaks. I went straight through summer courses, but that's not healthy. You have to run your own race. It's not a competition. You shouldn't be in competition with anyone but yourself, really. So, you know, to look on the out, you know, trying to look inside from the outside and see someone accomplishing all of these things, I feel like that's good to be inspired by, but to want that for yourself you have to be realistic, and it has to make sense. What works for me, and what works for y'all works for y'all. And Definitely. I'm not saying don't try or don't put that foot forward, but like, take care of your mental health. I lost myself so much over these past 6 years. And it's like, it's paying off now at 23, but it was like, at what cost? You know, I just tried to take my life a month ago. So like trying to have that mindset, like I need this, and that. I need to have a mortgage, a house and a car, a baby, a family by 25. Let it go. Stop rushing life.
Throw that out the window, because I know 36-year-olds with no mortgage, no kids, barely any money in the bank, but they still finding a way, or they still finding motivation. Like, you know, everybody is coming from all different walks of life. Like, you know, reiterating that same point, be kind to yourself out here. Because if you ain't going to love yourself, nobody will. Yeah. That's even coming from us as being friends for 10 plus years. We've been friends since 13 years old. Like, if you don't love yourself, you're not even going to be able to receive love from anybody else. So keep that first. Like, that self-love it's very important.
The self-love does have to be instilled, because that also leads to the things that you want in life.
Yes.
So once you're able to have that certain level of discipline and you're grounded and you have that love that you're pouring into yourself, not from others, but more so yourself, then you're then able to accomplish those goals. I didn't love myself in my teenage years or my early 20s. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I had a conversation with you when you came in town around the suicide stuff. And, you know, we were talking when we were around the time we were reading a book that we were reading. And I was like, I used college as a mask to cover up my mental health issues. Like, I just drowned myself in schoolwork because I didn't want to take everything for face value. Mm-hmm. And it's like, who am I outside of a therapist? Who am I outside of school? And I'm learning that now at 23. And don't get me wrong, all for the people love Black excellence, but it's like I'm learning myself now, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if I would have prioritized my mental health and learned how to love myself throughout the years, I wouldn't be at this stagnant stage where I'm just now figuring it out. But it's like, it's trial and error too.
That's all it's about. And you taking those steps to be better. Like, you're progressing, you know. Like, y'all get this camera version of her. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, off camera, she really living like that. You know, the highs and the lows, like, it don't matter. She gonna, you know, keep pushing.
You.
I was gonna say, to your point of masking with college, when we talked about that, on my last like visit to the crib, the new crib, I masked my feelings or my pain through my brand, Swain's Clothier, or Clo for short, if you really buy a lot of it. But I masked my feelings through clothes, so much so that I lost my identity in my Instagram, and like feeling like, man, if I post this link, it should go up, because So we from Chicago. We was raised in the burbs, but we from the city, man. People know us. You know, we're doing good for ourselves, and we bump arms with a lot of people. And one summer, I was blessed enough to get Herb and some jeans. And so when I got G Herbo and some clothing, I was like, okay, now it's just about to take off. Like, now people gonna see this is a designer brand. This is the upper echelon. Even though I'm small time, I was like, all right, it's about to blow. The last 2 years, it ain't been stagnant. You know, I learned money isn't everything. I've learned that my mental is what needs to come first. I've learned that true happiness is me being happy with myself when I log out of that damn app.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Take some time for yourselves. Delete that shit for a week. You know what I'm saying? Get your screen time down. Read more books.
Yeah,
go outside.
literally.
Let your feet touch grass and ground. Like, you gotta live in real life. You know that social media or comparing yourself to everybody or everything else, it's not gonna be healthy for you or conducive to the work you're trying to do or where you're trying to go.
Yes, please get that screen time down. We ain't even gonna talk about mine. Actually, it's a little better. It's a little better.
Nah, you are better.
It's a little better,
You
but
are
it's a
better.
little better. I did take my break, but only because I was going through what I was going through. But
Yeah.
it's more manageable now, and it's so easy to get caught up in what we see others doing and these social media influencers, and it's just like, a lot of people know them, the real them. I know
Yeah,
y'all be hearing
for
when
sure.
people be like, I know the real you. Like, people know the real y'all. Like,
What's that emoji?
I know the real you. Like, you not like that for real. But no, yeah, definitely take that time to go outside. Go touch some grass. I promise y'all, it's some good self-healing
Man.
and touching grass. And you know what? I really appreciate how vulnerable you are too. Like, as a man, I'm sure
Yeah.
that's tough.
Yeah, it is, because sometimes it's almost like somebody might try to take that kindness for weakness. I've been like that. I grew up. I have a relationship with my father. It didn't get better until my sister was born when I was 9 years old. But I lived in a house with my mother, so I come from paying bills at 15, 16 years old, arguing with my mom, letting my mom down, seeing my mom cry, smoking weed junior year, depressed on the basketball team. Like, I've been through them lows, man. And I'm telling y'all, like, it ain't nothing more important than, like, seeing your people proud, but also, like, being proud of yourself. And so once again, be kind with yourself and be vulnerable enough to stand in your truth, to stand in your mistakes, and to stand in your wins. I'm not just on here flying like, yeah, you know, I have a 6-figure business with my brother and best friend. Like, we doing good. Like, we about to be the next biggest brand. Like, I don't have to do that, because I'm dealing with real life shit on the side, and I'm still trying to figure it out. And I'm 24. I motivate people who 27, 28. I got a close friend, a big brother to me, Freeway Feet. And so my big bro, he calls me one day and just tells me, I don't know a 24-year-old like you. No matter what you've been through, no matter what you're going through, like, man, Wavy, I don't know a young nigga that's built like you. Like, the shit you doing right now is crazy, and you not even started yet. So for anybody out there who want to do something, who want to take that chance, apply for that college, apply for that scholarship, apply for that job, start that business, just know it's a long road ahead, but don't give up on yourself. You got to keep pushing.
Yeah, I promise you, nobody is gonna advocate for you. Like, that's something that I've learned over the years. And I have a good relationship with my mom, my dad, my stepdad, but that's my dad. But it's only so much love and support that somebody can give to you. But if you're not pushing and advocating for yourself, it's like, what's the point? So you definitely have to feed into yourself equally, if
for
not,
sure.
More. It's
For sure.
like, it's only so much people are going to do for you, but you have to be in it for yourself. Like, and a thing that also helped me too, like throughout college and adapting all of this success at a young age or before 25, is that I will always just like reflect back to 17-year-old me. I know that was a turning point in my life, a very traumatic time. A lot happened when I was 17. I can always go back to that age as an age that it was just one of the worst times of my life. And I tell my clients this in therapy too. It's like, go back to that age where you don't ever want to be at in life again, and talk to younger you. Like, so what I do is I tell 17-year-old me, like, we got this. We're doing better now. We're going to get to where we need to go. And I promise y'all, like, that and living by the 5x5, that has gotten me through so much. Just doing it for younger me and having these, like, new little techniques to get me through stuff.
I agree wholeheartedly. Like, 17-year-old me, man, if he was standing over here watching, he would be crying right now because he wouldn't even think that this would be the man present day. Like, I couldn't tell y'all. I didn't know what I was about to do with my life at 17. I got out of school and I sat in my room all day and listened to Party Next Door, laying in the bed, just sad, just dealing with life, not knowing myself or not knowing where I was gonna go in life. And so that age for me is also 17. But I think to the point of being vulnerable at this age as well, I have so much built up trauma that I went through as a child. Just being born into a situation where and my mom and my dad, they're adults, and everyone can get along for me if I needed everybody to be in one space. But like my mom and my dad, they really don't communicate like that. So it's hard for a young man growing up to constantly, be around his mother who says stuff like, oh, ask your dad this, call your dad, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, you call your dad and your dad might be so busy trying to figure himself out as a man. And I didn't know this when I was 9, 10 years old because I'm 24 now and I'm trying to figure it out. My parents had me at 19. If I had a child at 19, I don't know what I would have been doing. So I was feeling like, damn, my dad don't even want me. My mom crazy, whatever, telling me call him, telling me do this and do that. So like, I have so much built up that kind of made me more resilient and stronger to now I have nothing to hide from anyone. I don't lie. I don't gotta run from nothing because I'm living in my truth. And once you start living in your truth, shit get a whole lot easier.
And tell them real men and grown men cry too.
Oh, for sure. I mean, she done seen it firsthand. Or like when we lost our friend, I probably cried like 3 days in a row in front of her, like not caring. You know what I'm saying? I'll cry on my mom's shoulders. Present day, when my uncle transitioned at the beginning of January, I saw my father cry for the first time. Boo-hoo cry. That man's 42, 43. I've never seen my dad cry. Never. Yeah. Like, real men are in tune with their emotions and they're emotionally available. I saw my dad waddle up, and Pops, I'm sorry if you watch this. You one of the strongest men I know, but I saw my dad literally lean up on my grandma like he was 7 years old again. Yeah. Like it was crazy to see. It made me even stronger, and it gave me courage to speak at my uncle's wake. And people told me that I spoke well, and they were like, yeah, we see Swerve in you, we see Purvis in you, because like I carry all my uncle's personality on me, and my dad's personality, and my pawpaw, and my, like, any man in my life. I've taken things from all of them and basically turned into a melting pot. So if you a man out there, bro, cry, bro. Let that shit out, bro. You can't be that tough, my nigga. Like,
okay,
I'm not. You probably think I'm sweet in this purple and this satin. Let me tell you something.
Oh,
like,
my Lord.
It'll get like that, bro. But I'm also gonna cry. I'm gonna call my mama and tell her how I'm feeling. I'm gonna call my dad and let him know when I need him. I'm gonna call my grandma and boo-hoo. Like, you gotta be able to do that with certain people you trust and certain people that have your back. Let that shit out, bro. You ain't too tough to have some emotions and feelings.
Okay, that's coming from a young man himself, and I feel like I see that a lot. Just especially with it don't even got to be our age group. Like, just men in general. Like, it's like I don't know if that's something like a cultural thing, or men grew up like just being told not to cry or not to wear their emotions on their sleeves, and I don't think y'all,
Yeah.
Go talk to somebody.
It definitely stems from it's embedded in you in our childhood, and it's a real bad trend that we have in indigenous Negro Black communities, inner cities. Like, you the boy of the house or you the young man of the house. You, if the dad not around, you can't cry. You gotta go start working. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. A lot of our friends ran the streets when we was young.
Oh yeah,
they
for
didn't
sure.
have a chance to really be children. They stopped playing sports at 13, 14 to go do this or do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I got love for all the people that we grew up with, and I may have had to separate from them or keep my distance, but I still understand that like we all have made certain choices that led us to be to this point. But if you got breath in your body, you got air in your lungs, and you got 10 fingers, 10 toes, man, go figure that shit out, man. You got an arm, leg, head, Allah. If you got Allah, go figure that shit out, bro. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, something that I've noticed as well too, not just only with like men not being able to be vulnerable and cry and let their emotions out, something that I've noticed too, and I'll definitely let you speak more on that because I don't know nothing about that stuff, but men not also being able to like fight their urges of temptation and remaining like grounded and disciplined.
Man, it's hard. And it's not just the sexual urges that you have to fight. It's the urges of addiction. Like, I'll tell y'all, I've been around weed my whole life. I've been around cigarette smoke my whole life. Been around alcohol my whole life. I always told myself I'll never drink, I'll never smoke, whatever the case may be. I first started smoking weed to escape from being depressed in high school and like not really playing basketball, not knowing what I wanted to do. Put it down for a little bit, got to college, used it to design clothes, create my brand. And so at first I had a positive connection to it, like, oh, weed is making me happy. Like I'll smoke some weed, I'll go grounding, I'll talk to the ancestors, pray on trees. I'm 18 years old doing this, 19 years old doing this. I went through a traumatic event in undergrad and I lost myself, and then it turned into an addiction, so to speak. Waking up, rolling up, lunchtime, gotta roll up. You feel me? After I work out, gotta roll up. Or after I do some yoga, gotta roll up. Right before I go to bed, gotta roll up. If I can't sleep and I'm up at 3 a.m, gotta roll up. It's like, at what point do you realize like you're hindering yourself more than helping yourself?
So it became a codependency,
definitely
kind of
thing.
Okay.
And like I was just telling one of my OGs this, my uncle who cut my hair. I was just telling him, like, because I'm always off and on. You know this. It's weeks when I'm not touching anything.
Yeah, I know.
But then it's like 3 months where I'm smoking probably like three joints.
Yeah.
You feel me, before lunchtime. Like it varies.
And it happens.
Yeah,
so.
and so you got to be able to have some type of accountability for yourself. I'm speaking directly to the men. I'm the first man on Maya's platform. So like this episode is definitely tailored to y'all. Like you got to have some form of accountability. You feel me? And you gotta pick yourself up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stop slouching. You know what I'm saying? And become a boss. And it's different ways to become a boss. It's not just materialistic or monetary of monetary value. And the second point of addiction, or something that I was kind of attached to, was my sexual urges, or maybe just wanting to have a lot of sex. We keeping it a buck on your platform.
Ooh, wait, give it to me.
The Twitter porn, or like the different sites you could go to, or now it's like OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. It's embedded into your system. Yeah, and when you release semen or you ejaculate, it's just like doing coke. It's just like doing X. It's just like smoking a tray 5 and one joint. Like it's just like taking 5 shots. You release dopamine. So I'll be honest, like the first time I seen any type of porn, I was in first grade. I was 8 years old. Wow. I'm just now at 24 years old. For the majority part of this year, like I don't look at any type of porn. I don't wake up and, you feel me, I'm trying to masturbate real quick before I start the day. Or if I have a long day, I don't just end my day with masturbation just because it was tough.
Well, what got you to that point to where you're able to not function in that like high level intensity mode of temptations.
I always looked at my life like, man, or looked at my business like it should be doing this, it should be doing that, or with my job, because I'm also in corporate America. I should be getting paid this much, or I should have this position. And like the universe has been telling me like, hey, when you submit to me and you actually focused on a goal and you not doing that lower level shit, look what I give you. Like God was really showing me, I didn't have a job when I first came back home. I was not on the whole little porn thing, or I wasn't really on the smoking thing like that. I was like, nah, I got to get a job. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to work on the brand. I got my job. Brand did 6 figures back-to-back years. Then I kind of lost myself again and fell back into the temptation or the porn.
Then
or
the
being
grief
to
too, the death.
The grief, yeah. And it's very hard when something has been embedded in you since 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? That's like a kid. I have a family member who smoked a cigarette at 9, 10 years old. He still smokes cigarettes to this day, and he's about to be 40. Like,
yeah, some stuff carries on over.
Porn,
yep.
Or my addiction to sex, as far as like being in a relationship, I'm very affectionate. As a friend, I'm affectionate. As a brother, I'm affectionate. As a son, I'm affectionate. But when I'm in a relationship, I might swallow up my woman with the love and the compassion that I have, and I attach it to sex. And it, like in my last relationship, it was definitely like an issue. Like I made sex a priority, and my partner at the time, it wasn't really a priority for her, and she was also going through things, just trying to better herself and be in a better place. And I attached my identity, like as far as with our relationship, to how much we were having sex. Like,
it's so easy to get lost in that too.
It's sad.
so
sure.
easy.
And I would definitely say, like, for the young men out there, like, try semen retention. You know what I'm saying? Try getting off the Twitter. It ain't shit on Twitter but a fat bitch twerking, man. No disrespect. Excuse my language, but that's really what you see most of the time. You know, like, you gotta decode from the Matrix, because you know that eye in the sky, that's all he wants you to do. He wants you to be dormant. He wants you to be flat. Your power is in your loins. Your true manhood is down here, and if you bring it up and bring it here, then you'll be able to do anything you want it.
Y'all ain't hearing that though. Yeah. I definitely
and it's not
agree.
easy, for sure. It's not easy, but you gotta try, man. You gotta try. Y'all think my face just this clear? Just because I'm blessed? No, this come from semen retention, meditation, yoga, drinking a lot of water. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your urine is clear. Make sure your urine look like the water you drinking. Like, that's what's most important.
And I'm glad I've been able to embark on this journey with you as a friend and witness everything for you, because I also feel like, that's something I had talked to Anna about too. We try to tackle on all of these things at once. We want to make these life-changing moves, and we expect everything to flow and fall into place with the center focal point, and it doesn't work like that. It's like you have to start at one spot, and then everything else will gradually come. So, like you told me, like, you focus on like meditating, yoga, eating clean, and it's like you've tackled all of that, but then you talk about the sexual urges too. Like that didn't just come with it. It's like it's a one thing at a time kind of thing, and it's gradual as well. Healing, growing, working on yourself. Nothing will come to you all at once. If so, then like I feel like everybody will have it easy too. Like it just doesn't. It shouldn't be like that. Things take time. So I like how I've been able to be a part of your life and just see this growth, continuum of growth.
Glad I'm a part of your life.
Thank you.
Man,
you helped me. You pulled me out of that hole for real. Y'all don't even. Oh my gosh.
All things take time. Yeah. All things take time, and time heals all wounds. So it's an everyday struggle, man. It's an uphill battle, but just know, like, we two regular humans sitting here.
I swear to God,
you know what I'm saying? Like, dealing with everyday problems that y'all dealing with. we may have a better position, or we may be in a better position than some of you. We may not be in a better position than some of you, but all of us dealing with problems, all of us dealing with issues, all of us looking in the mirror, and it's something that we don't like when we looking in the mirror. It's something we don't like to see. So
Of course.
work towards omitting that. You know what I'm saying? Work towards being a better you. That's all that you can do.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, yeah. Prophet Wavy over here with the wise words. No, seriously, I tell y'all all the time when I get on this platform, we could take the degrees away, we could take the car away, we could take the apartment away. I don't care about anything if my mental health is not intact. Like, yes, all of that is a plus. The things we've accomplished at 23 and 24, like that's amazing. We understand that that's something that people want for themselves. That's something that people are, sitting in the back clapping for. Like, we get that, but it's like we still gotta face what we gotta face at the end of the day. And it's so easy to place that good judgment, because it is good judgment. You gotta see what we're doing, or people like us, and it's easy to say, oh, I want that for myself too, which to me essentially is good judgment. But it's also like, just think, of what is going on the inside as well. I promise y'all, it ain't all peaches and cream, and we get on this platform to hit the lows and the highs. We ain't getting up here just to sugarcoat, and I tell y'all, I'm gonna keep it authentic, I'm gonna keep it real. We gonna speak on the highs, we gonna speak on the lows. So definitely gotta give it to y'all real raw, especially for Mental Health Awareness Month. So yeah,
that's crazy. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. I don't be paying attention like that. So
nobody really knows.
But
and
it needs to be talked about. And this is coming from somebody who I still have not actively been to therapy. I have not seen a therapist. So if y'all looking at me, and if y'all get an ounce of inspired from me, man, go talk to somebody. I'm telling you, like, my next thing to tackle is actually going and talking to somebody, and going and sitting down on that couch, or getting on that webcam and actually opening up. It's a bunch of stuff that I still need to unpack, but I may look well put together on this camera. It's a lot of things I'm dealing with. It's a lot of reasons for me to not get out of the bed in the morning, but I'm still getting up out the bed and figuring it out. And to go to that point of you saying, you take the degrees away, like, to big you up, I don't know a 23-year-old woman with 3 degrees already, or at least not too many. I know maybe like another like 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? A very tough feat to accomplish at this tender age. And I saw you. I saw Party Maya. You know what I'm saying? Like,
y'all ain't even
young and turn. We going to clubs at 18, 19 years. I kid y'all not. Like,
bad,
I kid y'all not. Like, it was bad, but she's good. She's grown a lot. I don't know too many friends our age, or too many people in our circle who've had back-to-back $100,000 plus years with their business. Also, we're fresh off a pandemic, and we're in a recession right now, and technically, business-wise, I'm not hurting. Mentally, I still hurt. Emotionally, I still hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's been times I don't pick up the iPad and I don't design any clothes, or I don't feel that creative urge, and it's not from me not smoking. It's not from me not, maybe not having that sex that I thought I needed to have. It's literally because the plug is out of the socket and it needs to be connected back in. And that's okay. Everybody has that day sometimes, or that week or that month where the plug ain't in the socket, or you need a damn extension cord. Like, I get that. You're not alone out there. My business partner, my brother, he just told me 2 weeks ago, man, I'm not okay, Wavy. I said, damn, you telling me you not okay? And my brother lost his pops a few years ago, when we first met. Like, you feel me, lost his pops, like, off the rip of us being friends, maybe like 8 months within us being friends. My first year of college, going into sophomore year, he lost his pops. We probably talked about positive stuff about his father at least 10 to 15 times. The hurt or the pain that he has, or the trauma, we've talked about it twice. And with like 5-6 years or whatever.
Yeah.
People are actively pushing pain down or not really dealing with it. My brother just told me for the first time in years, like, man, I'm not good right now. Like, I'm tripping right now. Like, I'm just in the bed. I don't want to move. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
Like,
And sometimes it be like that. You just don't
like
have
that.
the willpower
Yeah.
or the motivation. And that's okay. And I really want people to stop making people feel like they're lazy
Mm-hmm.
or like there's something wrong with, you know, like a person if they just lie in the bed all day. Like that's okay. The norm is to get up at 5 a.m. and, you know, start your day, and all of that is lovely. I applaud the people that can get up that early and get their day started. But also don't fault anybody, you know, that is lounging around or lying in bed, because sometimes you just, and it, like you said, you could take away the sex, you could take away the drugs. It's just like, damn,
take away the money.
You
The
take away the
won't
money.
help you either.
I don't want to do nothing today.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because if your mental state is not there for you to be getting up and doing something, then you don't got to do shit at all, basically. Like, it's okay. And also, it's okay to not be okay. I think a lot of people don't understand that. It's perfectly fine to not be fine. My mother had to instill that in me. I'm so worrisome and anxious. Like, I need everything perfect and to the T. And she's always telling me, like, just chill. It's okay to not be okay. Things will come. And like Wavy just said, tomorrow is not, you don't know if you're going to wake up tomorrow. We don't know, you know, so you just take every day for what it is and do what you can with it. And if that's your best, that's your best. And if it's your worst, then it just so happened to be your worst that day. But all in all, you should definitely just be prioritizing that mental state of mind.
That mental is what. Okay,
Yeah,
I got a question. Can we switch it real quick?
Oh,
Can
I
we
ain't never been asked
Can
no
we
question
switch it
on
real
here.
quick? Can we
I'm
switch
scared.
it real quick?
I'm scared.
All right. So on the spot,
Oh,
scale of 1 to 10, mental health check. Give me your number right now. 9:17 p.m. I'm not gonna say the date because it's not gonna drop in the date.
Oh yeah. Stay tuned.
It's 9:17 p.m.
in
What's
Phoenix, Arizona.
What's your mental state?
I
1 to 10.
honestly, I currently am functioning between 7 and 8.
Okay.
From 0 to trying to end my life
From 0 60 days ago
to 7 to 8, we got. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
7 to 8.
it's getting there. It's
You
getting
just
there.
shocked me.
But it could fluctuate.
It
It could
definitely
fluctuate.
can.
Tomorrow I could be at 2. I could be at 5. It's
Yeah.
not. It's.
Yeah.
It, you know, but it's been better because, like, I had told Anna and a lot of people in my life, I promised you and my mom that I would try with you guys. Not only try with you guys, but I would try for myself.
Yeah.
And that's a promise that a lot of you guys need to make for yourselves as well, because I did have a lot of you guys reach out to me personally and just in my comments on social media, and I saw a lot of you saving the clip, the suicidal clip. I get it. I know
going
it's
viral.
tough. It's hard, but don't let your people try alone. You gotta be, and I know I get it. You don't want to be in it. I didn't want to be in it, but if you get yourself to that point where you know, like, it can be okay, and you have people counting on you, your children, siblings, whatever, use that, but more so use at the end of the day, all I have is me. So I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to do what I can, and I'm going to try for myself. But also, for sure, utilize your resources as far as therapists. And your friends are not your therapists. I'm telling you that right now. Please do not trauma dump or overload or overwhelm your friends. Utilize your resources in a positive manner. And like I said, I can link that down below. But that's something that I had to learn too. Like me and Zaria, shout out to my home girl.
god
We
sister.
definitely learned how to not trauma dump. Do not overload or overwhelm your friends, because you don't know what they're going through in a moment. Like, yes, if it's like right in a moment, like this is crisis mode, 100%. But also do understand that people go through things themselves too. So you do just want to utilize your resources in the best way that you can. And I'm gonna forever keep saying that. Utilize those resources.
Yeah. Talk to somebody who don't know you from a can of paint, or maybe talk to an individual who's probably older than you so you can get some wisdom. Cause when you pushing stuff on your friend, all you really doing is you just want somebody to tell you that you right, or whatever you feeling is right, or however you feeling is cool, and like, yeah, that's
I like
fine
that, though,
to do that.
sometimes,
But
yeah.
when you every time a problem come up and you just going to a friend, or you calling on a friend and just dumping that shit on them, and I'm the friend that people call. She'll tell y'all. I'm the one that's gonna pick you up. I'm the one that's gonna pour into you. I'm the one that's gonna recharge your battery. So as that friend, man, it's times where I feel like I don't even have anybody, but I do. I have a plethora of support, but I actively don't do the trauma dumping onto my friends.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I'm that friend that somebody going through something, they definitely gonna call me. They definitely gonna hear what I gotta say, or they gonna need me to big them up. That drains your friends sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm drained by y'all, whoever be calling me, or you know who you are.
Right, don't run with it.
I'm not drained by y'all, but what I'm saying is it may be times where I may not even be in the mental capacity myself to pour into you, and you calling me, dumping it on me, and you need me to push you up when I'm trying to push myself up, or pick myself up, or pick you up. So go see somebody.
But
sure.
good communication too.
Yeah.
Effective communication. Like, obviously you want to keep people around that will tell you, and that's something that me and Zaria do, and a lot of my other friends now. Like, hey, I'm not in the headspace to be taking on this information. I will respond to you when I'm able to. That's also practicing good boundaries.
I don't have that yet. I'm learning. We gonna
get that.
I'm learning how to be like, I can't.
We gonna get you that. It's okay. It takes time.
Yeah,
it
for
takes
sure.
time.
For sure.
Oh yes.
Okay, so
wow.
I'll say my number.
Where you at with the mental health? What's going on?
I'm a solid 7.
Okay.
In January, that shit was like a 5.
Okay. We can work. 7 is cool.
But I'm a 7, and as a man, your mental or how you feel about yourself, I don't care what anybody says, it's a small portion of how good you feel is gonna be attached to your finances and attached to, I don't want to say bank account, but I want to say the amount of financial freedom that you may or may not have. And that's because if you're a real man, you're a natural born provider, and you want to have things in place, and you want to be set up a certain way. So being that my finances might fluctuate, like how she said her mental fluctuates, especially being in a business or the fashion industry, I might have a 10K month, I might have a 20K month, I might have a 3K month. So as a man, I'm dealing with financial hardships at times that can alter my mental health sometimes. It can make me feel like, oh, business is not doing this good, or business ain't solid right now. What am I doing? I need to go back to the drawing board. I need to readjust this or readjust that. So I'm at a solid 7 right now, and I'm on a 90-day fast, and I'm working towards goals and things like that. I encourage y'all to join me on a 90-day fast as well. Whatever you feel like is really holding you back from going to that next level in your life, drinking, smoking, spending time, or being on your phone too much, being on TikTok too much, being on Instagram too much, not reading or not doing something that's good for you. Like, man, take 90 days to do something positive 90 days in a row, to do 2 or 3 things positive 90 days in a row. I promise you it'll help. Yeah. I've been there. I've done 90 days as a young man, and I've done positive things for 90 days, and I've done negative things for 90 days in a row. I'm telling you, it's way better. It get a little easier when you working on the positive side.
For sure. And it only takes 21 days to formulate.
Break a habit.
Yeah. Well, look at you. Okay. Yeah, for sure. But yes, y'all. Mental health, don't give in to temptation and urges. And if you do, it's okay. We fall. But we human. We human. We keep it real on this platform. We hit on the lows and the highs.
Are we human? Or are we beings of light trapped in clay or a spaceship?
Y'all not ready for that one.
We gonna leave it at the mental.
We gonna leave it at the mental.
But also, when you know that, when you vibrate how we vibrate, like, we be with y'all. We have lows. But we also kind of tapped into that godhood. We on the herbs, we on the fruits, we on the vegetables. So it can be mentally taxing when you know that you have this spirit and this melanin running through you, and you can't do nothing about it because the world you living in, the time frame you living in, like it's cool to be depressed now. It's cool to sip lean now. It's cool to pop a pill now. It's cool to be out with the girls in the section and let a nigga buy you bottles all night.
I mean,
like,
that's kind of.
I'm saying, I done lived. We done both.
Yeah,
we done lived both sides. Like I done
for sure.
I done sip drink before.
I
like,
can't believe I'm sitting up on this.
I done got high off of zipping
literally
in one night with my homies. Like
I stayed out
cool.
of town. At flights every other week, sections, bottles.
Sure.
It's
Sure.
what
Them
comes with the young lit lifestyle, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that.
It's the celebrity or the influencer lifestyle, and I'll tell y'all like firsthand. You feel me, like man, and I can say this now, cause those who know us, not to reiterate the point, but since he speaks on mental health so much, G Herbo, when he was going through his personal life and like losing his best friend or his brother, because he openly talks about it on platforms. When I met him, I could feel his energy, and he fucked with me enough because I was genuinely coming to him, and he was like surprised, like damn, these for me, and the clothes was actually fire. You feel me? I literally saw him going through his own mental bout, but he still was performing for his fans, or he still was doing shows.
Yeah,
like,
that's that,
bro, celebrities, influencers, they go through human
stuff.
shit just like us. I'm not clout chasing or doing none of that, because that's what people do from the place that we from. I'm literally telling y'all, like, I seen somebody who's like a multi-millionaire be a regular human being, like right in front of my face. Like,
but that's what comes with it too, from
yeah,
where we from, like the
with
trauma, the
for
PTSD,
sure.
it lingers on. Yeah,
we think it's cool.
We do.
We think it's cool to pull up a deuce, pull up a four. We think it's cool.
Shit,
to
I was
drink
really
a
living
fifth
like
in one
that.
night.
I thought that was scary. I literally said that on the episode with Emma.
I used to think it was cool to smoke 5 wax joints with Keith. Right?
Yeah.
You know how I used to roll a couple years or a year ago. Like, before I started working my job, I really like slowed down. I got in corporate and I got in my financial space and career.
Yeah.
But when I was just fresh out of school, telling y'all, it's not all it's cracked up to be, man. Like, it's not cool. Stop posting that shit. Stop thinking that, you feel me, you a celebrity or you living like them people are going through real life problems that they probably not talking about. You feel me?
Don't get caught up in the hype.
Don't get caught up in the hype.
Yep. And we're going to leave it on that note. Thank you for joining me, Wavy.
Thank you for letting me be the first man on the platform.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
Our
Send it to all
social.
the guys.
Oh, yeah. For
all
sure.
the guys need to watch this one.
And the social media handles will be linked below. If y'all also want to tap in with us on that high vibrational, we're going to get y'all right. But, yeah, thank you.